I am going to be spilling the tea, so to speak. So get you a cup. I have my drink. It's not tea, but it'll do. And we're speeding up the timeline. I have 4 months to get this camper, or I'm living in my car with my dog. So let's get to it, and then we will get to the real reason that you're here, story time. I am going to be changing up a little bit of the content of the blog, or the vlog, as they say, on YouTube. And I hope that you guys will stick it out with me. It's a new channel, so I know that rearranging and doing stuff can be detrimental to the growth of the channel. People follow you for one thing, and then you switch it up and you lose people, and that's gonna suck if that happens, but it's part of it. It goes with the territory. Shit happens. My partner broke up with me, and instead of trying to build this life with him, I get to do it solo. Again. I'll get into the ins and outs of why, against probably their wishes, because as you'll find out in the story later, sharing my life on the internet is why they broke up with me. The too long didn't read or didn't watch version. Anyway, so I get to downsize. Right now my cell phone is strapped to a very large box. There are boxes behind me and boxes behind me, and that's what we're gonna be doing. Boxing up my stuff. There is a blog on my website, put some text on there and post editing, about downsizing, and there's a method that I use to downsize, and so I'm gonna post an actual video of me doing that, because I actually have now a time frame for doing that. It usually takes about 90 days. I'm gonna make a video documenting that process for me. I'm also gonna start posting some reselling videos on here, because I don't wanna make a second channel for that, because it's not going to be a permanent thing. That is part of something that I've been doing for side hustles, but I have not posted any of those, and I'm actually gonna start doing that to try to get eyes on items, because I actually need to get rid of some stuff, and I have stuff that I've been meaning to list, meaning to sell, and I just haven't done any of that. I'm also unfortunately looking at the idea of taking out a loan. This is something that I've advised people against, taking out a loan and then living in it full time. A lot of times loans do not allow you to live in it full time, so you have to be very careful about doing that. It can be messy, so it would really help me if you guys could help me get monetized, because I'm sure if you're in any groups about monetization or anything like that, people get pretty big payments from social media and brand deals, etc., etc., and that would help me not have to take out a loan. It really would. There is also a buy me a coffee link down below if you feel like donating. I am also in the process of making more stupid keychains, probably about like breakups. I don't know now. And I might list like charity keychains. It's awful. Maybe I'll cut that part out. I don't know. Okay, get you your tea. I'll do a little snippet here, maybe some B-roll of tea. I like Pepsi. I also like coffee. I'm into coffee, and I'm definitely into tea. I just don't have the time to make any right now. I'm supposed to be working. Hope you got your drink. Are you settled in? Willow, roll that beautiful bean footage. You just a bit big boots. Let's tuck you into your bed. Have a nap, nap, nap. It's my pretty girl. She just needs to have a nap. I wish I could take a nap with you, but I have to work. I have to make the money. We need a camper to live in, don't we? We need to find somewhere to live. Tell the nice people they should subscribe. Okay, I'll tell them that they should subscribe. Oh, right, she's a dog. he doesn't have thumbs. Okay. Here's the tea. I have been struggling in my relationship. I have talked to my partner about issues. I don't know if they didn't hear me or if they didn't want to hear me. Because according to him, he thought that we had great communication and that we were very, very happy. I hope I inserted some kind of fart noise or deflated balloon sound or wah, wah, wah. So I've been on his side of this table before, and yeah, so I've been in therapy for a very long time, almost half of our relationship. He just recently got into therapy, and also he would absolutely hate that I'm doing this, but we're not in a relationship anymore, and so he can't control what I do. We've had this discussion where he's a private person, and he doesn't like that I have talked about our relationship to my friends. The first time that this got brought up, this situation, this issue that he has with me, he didn't like that I talked about our relationship with my friends. And I kind of was like, what? And he's like, yeah, you can't discuss anything about our relationship with anyone. And I was like, okay, so like, you don't want me talking about specific things, or you don't? And he was like, at all, black and white, no, can't cross that line. That's controlling. Pointed that out, and he was like, but I'm private, I don't want people knowing anything about me. But this is my experience. I'm allowed to talk to people about my experience, and I've explained that this is how I process things, and I've explained that I have trauma and that I've been gaslit and have issues, and I've been told, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this, you know, you fall down and you skin your knee, right? And it's bleeding, and there's like rocks or something in it, and it hurts. It physically hurts you. So you cry a little bit, and your parents are like, get up, it didn't hurt that bad. Why are you crying? I'll give you something to cry about, right? That's gaslighting. That's telling you that your emotions that you have are not valid, invalidating your feelings. And when you get told that repeatedly, when something hurts you and you have emotional reaction, you start to question whether or not that is real, whether you're allowed to feel that way. And I have to then seek outside counsel to justify my own emotions and my own reactions, whether or not I'm allowed to do that. Even as a grown adult, I will be 37 in August, and as a grown adult, I still do not know if I am allowed to cry when Mufasa dies in The Lion King, all these years later. If it brings me to tears, I still, somewhere in my pea brain, think, you've seen this movie so many times, you know he dies. Sorry, spoiler alert. Why are you still crying? You shouldn't cry. That's weak. Just because your dad died. Just negative self-talk, and I have to get that out, right? I've explained all of this to him. He knows this. I heard, don't talk to people we know. He heard me say, I will never do this again. It's now at least a year since that first snafu. We are now living together. We weren't living together before. Things have gotten worse. I am frustrated. I have come to him with issues. The issues are unresolved. Repeatedly said, I need you to do this, I need you to do that. Even before we moved in, there was an issue about cleanliness that I discussed, helping me keep the house up. I talked about how in the wintertime my depression gets worse and I fall behind on being able to take care of the house. And when the house falls into disarray, it makes my depression worse. And so like we have a compounding effect. And I was like, if we can't keep the house up, I would like to be able to get a maid at least for the winter months until I feel good enough to be able to take on my share of the housekeeping again. And I was told that we wouldn't be able to afford a maid and that would be fine. He would take over those duties if I fell behind, etc., etc. We have been in this apartment since May. He has cleaned the toilet once because I freaked out and begged him to. He does the dishes and he sometimes takes out the trash. Other than that, he's never vacuumed. He mopped once because the toilet backed up and it was his fault. He's never wiped down the kitchen. He's never swept or mopped. He's never dusted. I bet you he couldn't even tell me where the duster was. One time he asked me where the broom was because he couldn't find it. He didn't know where the solution to clean the bathroom was. Yeah, like I was doing this weekly, at least. Clean the toilet once. It's April. We've been here almost a year and he's cleaned the toilet once. That's gross. Gross. So, unfortunately for me, I was desperate. I aired this out on my social media accounts. It is an account that I've blocked everyone that I know personally on, everyone that he knows personally on. Somehow his best friend still found it, screenshotted it, and took him out to dinner and showed it to him. And he blew up at me for it. Yeah, so that's the tea. That's, it's a fundamental difference because he's a private person and I am not. But, you know, one of the things that he supposedly loves about me is how open and honest I am. I admitted to it. I said, you know what, that was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. But here I am doing it again because we're broken up now and you can't control me enough. You know what? I have no shame. I really don't. I asked you for help. I've talked to my therapist about this. My therapist suggested a chore chart like we're toddlers. And you know what I said to her? I go, I would have to remind him to look at the chore chart. I would have to remind him that it's his day to do XYZ. So what good is me having to make a chore chart like I'm his mother if he doesn't even hear me when I say, hey, I need help and I'm concerned about when we move in together that you're not gonna help me do chores because I see how you live now with your sibling and it's gross. The honkers have come to get me. He sent Canadian geese after me. I deserve a little bit, just a little bit. I'm culpable in this. I take responsibility for the fact that I should not have done that. I should not have aired our dirty laundry doing it again, but you know, I already got broken up with. What else can you do? The worst has already happened. So that's what's happening. That's why we're now living like the roommates that I already said we were. I already told him that I felt like we were roommates because he comes home and plays a video game, and worse than that, he comes home and plays a video game, he puts headphones on and then watches something on his phone while he's playing the video games. There's no talking. He stops to poke me and tell me he loves me and or ask me if I'm hungry and want dinner. And then he'll maybe prepare something or I'll make dinner. And then he'll go back to playing the video game and watching something on his phone and the headphones while eating the dinner. And then we go to bed. And we talk for maybe 5 seconds, 5 minutes. And then that's it. That's the extent of our relationship for the last 4 to 5 months. And I feel like his depression got worse when we moved in. He stopped going to the gym. I had to coerce him to go to therapy. Like, all of these things that I talked to him about. Yes, what I did was wrong, but it was out of a desperation. Because I'd exhausted every other option and I needed help. I needed advice from strangers on the internet because what the therapist suggested was not a solution. He said we were fundamentally different and it's day 5 and you know what? He's right. Because I wanted to work on things and his solution was break up. His solution wasn't even let's try couples counseling. Could you journal? Could you not could you stop content creation? Could you didn't even want to try. And we're different. I don't give up on people. I don't throw people away like they're disposable. And he does. He tossed me aside after almost 3 years like I was nothing to him. It was that because I made a mistake. Instead of fixing these very fixable things. So this is why the timeline has moved up on everything. And I'm not opposed to living in my car again. I very much know I can do it. The difference this time around is I can't migrate with the weather. August in the Midwest is very unforgiving. I can't abandon my grandpa. These are his final years. And he took care of me when I was little, and I can't not be here for him. So, and living with him is not an option. Living with my other family members is not an option. The last time I was in very bad mental health and physical health, and I needed a place to stay, they were not supportive, so I can't ask them. I can't. And I'm not a very good roommate, apparently. Because I'm not a very good girlfriend, apparently. He's a good guy. There's no ill will other than the bitterness of 3 years down the drain and the sadness of being considered disposable to another person that I love, care about, and wishing that he felt I was worth the effort because I deserve to be loved and cared for by somebody who's willing to try, somebody who's willing to fight for me. It took me 36, almost 37 years, but I am worth it. To love myself enough to know that I am, despite all of my flaws and everything that's wrong with me, worth that. At least that. This got really depressing. I'm here for a good time, not a sad time, so we're gonna wrap this up. If you even made it this far, thank you for watching.